Are you thinking of buying a home in Arizona, but you're not sure where to start? Well, you're in the right place. Whether you're already here or relocating from another state, I'm going to walk you through the exact step-by-step process so you know what to expect, what to do, and you can make your move with confidence. Hi everyone, I'm Alejandra, your Arizona realtor. I work with buyers every single day, from first-timers to people upsizing to larger homes and people relocating. And the number one thing I hear is, I wish someone had explained this to me sooner. So this is exactly what I'm doing today. I also have a free guide that provides an overview of the entire home buying process. It's linked below in the description, so grab that and follow along. All right, let's get into it. Before we dive into the steps, every buyer, whether you're already in Arizona or relocating from another state, you need to have three things in place. First, your timeline. Next, your credit, and then it's your finances. Let's walk through each one. All right, first, what is your timeline? When do you need to be in your new home? This shapes everything. When we start the search, when we need to have an offer accepted, and how much runway we have to get everything done. If you have a flexible timeline, great. If you have a hard deadline, a job start date, a lease ending, kids starting school, we need to know that up front so we can build a strategy around your timeline. Second, and this one is really important, you need to know where your credit stands. To qualify for a home loan, you're gonna need a minimum credit score of 620. Now, if you're a veteran, you may be able to qualify with a score of 580 through the VA, but regardless of whatever loan you're using, I'm gonna share with you a tip. The higher your credit score, the better the interest rates you're gonna get at the lowest cost. So it always pays to have your credit score as high as possible before you buy. And if your credit needs help, don't worry. This is exactly where the lenders I work with shine. They offer a free, complete credit plan to all of my buyers. Basically, the lenders have access to a credit simulator tool that tells you precisely what debts to pay, how much, and then which order, and it's going to strategically move up your score as quick as possible. So it's not guesswork, it's a customized plan specifically for your situation. And it is completely free because at the end of the day, it's our job and our goal to help you buy your house. So once the lender puts the credit plan together, the important thing is you gotta follow it, you gotta stick to it to see the results. The third thing is you gotta make sure you have your finances in order. Before we start touring homes, you should have enough money for your down payment. Now, this is gonna be between 3.5% to 5% of the purchase price. Using simple numbers, $400,000 house is $14,000 to $20,000. Also, closing costs run about 2%, so budget about $8,000 of the purchase price. Again, these are all estimates. Your lender is going to give you the exact numbers for your situation, but I like to give you some numbers so you have something to plan ahead with. Once you have all these three things in place, your timeline, your credit, your finances, you're finally ready for the home buying process. All right, now let's get into that. Step number one, initial consultation. The very first step in buying a home is sitting down with a realtor. And I know that sounds obvious, but a lot of people actually skip this step or put it off, and it ends up costing them a lot of time and clarity later. This initial consultation is where we get to know each other. We talk through your goals, answer all your questions, and make sure you have a clear picture of what that process looks like before we dive in. It's also where I learn about your situation. Are you buying your first home? Are you relocating from out of state? Do you have a home to sell first, which would make you a contingent buyer? All of these things matters, and it shapes the strategy we put together for you. And we can easily do this consultation virtually if you're not able to meet in person. Now, if you want to get that conversation scheduled now, the easiest way to do that is going to zoomtoarizona.com. You can easily book a call or a Zoom call with me there. Also, there's a form linked in the description that says start here. Fill that out and I'll personally reach out to you to coordinate a phone call. Step number two, get pre-approved. Once we've had that initial conversation, the next step is getting pre-approved for a mortgage. This step is really important, and a lot of buyers want to start looking at home before they're pre-approved, and I totally understand that excitement, but here's the thing. You don't actually know what you can afford until you talk to a lender. I don't want you falling in love with a house and then you find out later the payment's too high. So it's important to talk to the lender, get pre-approved so we have expectations and numbers in place. During the pre-approval process, the lender is going to review your income, your credit score, your assets, and your debts. They're going to talk you through all the different loan programs available and let you know which options are going to be best. Again, there's programs as low as 3.5% down or even less depending on your situation. Now, once you're approved, the lender will give you a pre-approval letter. That's going to tell you exactly the purchase price you're qualified for. I work closely with mortgage brokers who are able to get you the best rates at the lowest cost, and I'm happy to connect you with someone that I trust and someone I work with regular, because having the right lender in your corner doesn't just get you approved, it can save you thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. Plus, it's going to make the entire transaction run smoothly because we're going to have excellent communication from the lender to myself to everyone else involved. Step number 3, buyer broker agreement. So as of August 2024, anywhere in the US, before a realtor can show you a home, you're going to need to sign what's called a buyer broker representation agreement. Now remember, this applies to all realtors. This agreement gives me permission to represent you, show you homes, negotiate on your behalf, and guide you through the entire transaction. This is actually a really good thing for buyers because it formalizes the relationship and ensures your agent is fully working in your best interest. Now, I know the question on everyone's mind, does this mean I now have to pay my agent out of pocket? Well, good news. In most cases, no. In Arizona, at least, it's very common for the sellers and the home builders to pay the buyer's agent commission. I always negotiate for the seller or the builder to cover my fee. And if for some reason they agree to pay me less than what's on our agreement, guess what? I'm going to lower my commission to match what they're willing to pay, because I don't want to come after my buyers to have them pay for my services. I like to be fully transparent about this because it's very important, and I know it's something that buyers are thinking and they're worrying about. Step number 4, home search and property tours. This is the fun part. Once you're pre-approved and all the paperwork is taken care of, we start looking at homes. Yay! I'm going to set you up on a home search with your specific criteria, your price range, location, number of bedrooms, any must-haves you tell me, and you're going to start getting emails as new homes get listed on the market. Once you find a home that you want to see, we schedule tours. If you're local, we go see them in person, either with me or one of my agents. If you're out of state, I do offer virtual tours and walkthroughs. This is where I walk through the home on a live FaceTime call with you, open every door, show you the neighborhood, give you my honest read on the property. Or if you're not available, I pre-film a property tour for you. Something else I want to make sure I share with you, if you're interested in a new construction house, I'm going to pause right here because the process is actually a little bit different than buying a resale home. Things like builder contracts, design center, quick move-in homes, negotiating with builders definitely requires a different type of approach. So I have a whole video dedicated on how to buy a new construction house. I'm going to link it below in the description, and up above in the cards. It's definitely one you're going to want to watch if new construction is on your radar, because going in without that knowledge can cost you money. Step number 5, making an offer. All right, you found a home that you love. Now what? This is where strategy really matters. This is actually one of my favorite parts of the process because this is where I really go to work for you. Let me walk you through everything that goes into building a strong offer. The first thing I do before we even write his offer is I pull comparable properties. These are recently sold homes within a 1-mile radius, similar condition, similar features, similar size. If it's a 1-story, it's going to be a 1-story. This helps us tell us what the actual home value is. That way we know all the details and we know what to offer. We're not just blindly offer what the seller's asking. We want to come up with data and let us know what the offer price should be. Next, our seller concessions. This is a credit from the seller applied at closing, and this is one of the most powerful tools available to buyers in this market, so pay close attention to this. This credit can be used by your lender to buy down your interest rate, which is then going to lower your monthly payment, or we can use it to cover closing costs, therefore reducing the amount of cash you need to bring to the table at closing. But honestly, in this market, it's all about buying the interest rate. But I will work with you and the lender to figure out what's the best way to apply the money to save you the most money possible. In this market, I've been very good about getting seller credits for my buyers. On average, we've been able to get their interest rate rate down from 0.5% all the way to 1% lower than the market rate. This is literally saving my buyers hundreds of dollars a month on their mortgage. And in some cases, I can actually negotiate enough seller credit to buy down the rate and cover some closing costs. And if we're lucky, all the closing costs. I mean, I'm gonna push to get you as much money as possible because I love doing that for my clients. All right, next we decide on the closing date. Most closings in Arizona typically take 30 days to close. So basically we will pick 30 days from when your offer is accepted. For instance, let's say your offer is accepted June 15th. We target a closing date of July 16th. Now if the home is vacant, we can actually close in as little as 3 weeks, which is a great option if you're eager to get into your new home. The closing date can also be used strategically. Let's say the seller needs more time or they want to close more quickly. If you're flexible on the date, this is going to help make your offer more attractive without having to increase your purchase price. All right, next we decide on appliances. This is something a lot of buyers don't realize. Not all appliances actually come with the home. For instance, the stove, microwave, dishwasher, they're always included because they're built in. They're part of the house. But the refrigerator, washer, and dryer, those are considered personal property and they're negotiable. What we do is when we're writing your offer, we're going to decide together whether you want to ask for those items. Do you want the fridge? Do you want the washer and dryer? Maybe the seller's got nice items and you want to include them with your new home. We can definitely write them in on the offer, and many times sellers are honestly happy to leave them because they'd rather leave them than have to move them. All right, next I always encourage my buyers to include a home warranty in the offer. This is a 1-year warranty that starts the day that you close. It's going to cover things like appliances, your AC, plumbing, electrical, basically all the things that your home insurance does not cover. Something to keep in mind is homeowners insurance covers things like damage from floods and fires, but it doesn't cover when things stop working. So having a home warranty and having a home insurance gives you really peace of mind, especially in that first year as a new homeowner. Now, something to remember, the home warranty is optional and the homeowner's insurance is mandatory. But again, I highly recommend you buy both. The best part is I always negotiate for the seller to pay for at least half of that warranty. So instead of paying the full cost, which is about $800 for a good one, out of pocket, that's only about $400. And this is a great deal and it's something I push for on every single offer. Next, we decide on your earnest money deposit. This is a good faith deposit that shows the seller that you're serious about purchasing their home. A good rule of thumb is 1% of the purchase price. So again, $400,000 home, that would be about $4,000. Now, a higher earnest money deposit actually makes your offer stronger. So if there's a competitive situation where the seller has received multiple offers, putting down more of that deposit is going to signal that you are a committed, serious buyer. And it can be the difference between you getting the house or not getting the house. Just little tweaks in your offer like that. Again, not having to pay more out of pocket is the goal. And remember, this earnest money is not money lost. Instead, it's money that acts as a credit towards what you owe as closing. So you're going to owe down payment and closing costs, but you'll deduct that earnest money that you've already paid and you'll owe less money at closing. So it's not an additional fee. I know it can confuse people. And the last decision we make when writing your offer is selecting the title company. This is something a lot of buyers don't even realize they get to choose. The title company is responsible for handling all of the paperwork, coordinating the closing, making sure everything is done correctly and on time. They're going to check title on the property, make sure it's clear. A good title company can make the whole experience smooth and stress-free. Now, I work with a few excellent companies that I know of and I trust and I've worked extensively with. They are excellent communicators. They stay on top of every detail and they consistently get closings done on time. So when we write your offer, I will recommend one of these trusted title companies and we're going to include them written on the contract. Now, once we have all of these pieces in place, the price, the seller credit, the closing date, the appliances, the home warranty, the earnest money, and the title company, we submit the offer. The seller is either going to accept the offer, counter the offer with their new terms, or reject. Now, if they counter the offer, we're going to negotiate until we reach an agreement that everyone is happy with. And once that offer is accepted, we're going to move to the next phase. Earnest money deposit. Woohoo! Your offer has been accepted. Congratulations. You're under contract on your home. You're going to have 2 business days to submit that earnest money deposit. As we just covered, this is typically 1% of the purchase price, and it will get credited back to you at closing. It's also fully protected during your purchase unless you cancel the wrong way, which I'll be explaining. All right, next step, home inspection. All right, after going under contract, you enter the inspection period. In Arizona, this is typically 10 days, and it starts the day after your contract acceptance. This is one of the most important parts of the entire process. You're gonna hire a professional home inspector to do a thorough evaluation of the property. The roof, the AC, the plumbing, the electrical, the foundation, everything. The inspection gives you a clear picture of exactly what you're buying. If you can attend in person, this is great and highly recommended. If you can't, especially if you're out of state, we can arrange a phone or video call with the inspector so you can ask questions in real time and hear the findings directly from the inspector. I have an amazing inspector I work with regularly who I completely trust, and I'm happy to refer him, plus a few other great inspectors as well, because by law I need to recommend multiple inspectors. And here's something I want you to understand. During the inspection period, this is when you have the right to cancel the purchase of your home for any reason. Let's say you change your mind, your partner doesn't like the area, or whatever the case is. We can cancel during this time before we negotiate repairs, and we'll get your earnest money back. That's the good thing. You don't lose anything. This is really the window to evaluate the home, the area. Make sure you're certain before proceeding, before we request repairs, because that will move us to the next phase, negotiate repairs. Once the inspection report is in, we review it together. We decide what we want to ask the seller to address. This is where having an experienced agent really matters, because knowing what to ask for, what's most expensive, safety items, is really going to save you thousands of dollars. The seller has a few options when they get our request. They can either agree to make the repairs before closing, offer you a credit instead of the repairs, and you do them after closing, or sometimes a combination of both. My job is to help negotiate the best possible outcome for you. Not every item on an inspection report is worth negotiating. A lot of items are going to be wear and tear, but some of them are going to be deal breakers. So we're going to need to know the difference, and that's something I'm going to help you figure out, because even a brand new house is going to have a long inspection report of items that need to get repaired. So don't be overwhelmed. I'm going to help guide you on the most important items to get done. All right, next step, order appraisal. Once we're satisfied with the seller's response to the repairs we submitted, I will tell the lender to order the appraisal. At this point, we can no longer cancel. The appraiser is an independent professional who comes out, evaluates the home, determines the market value. This appraisal exists to protect you, so you're not paying more than the home is worth. Now, if the appraisal comes in at or above your purchase price, this is great news. It means the deal is on track. And in some cases, it means you're already walking in with instant equity. Now, if the appraisal comes in low, meaning the home appraised for less than what you agreed to pay in your offer, we've got some options. One, we can negotiate with the seller to lower the price. Two, you can make up the difference in cash if you choose to, but honestly, in this market, I don't see it. And three, worst case scenario, you would cancel and you would have the right to get your earnest money back. The good news is that it's very common in this market for the seller to drop the price on a low appraisal. That's just what's happening. We are currently in a really strong buyer's market. All right, next step, final walkthrough. A few days before closing, we're going to do a final walkthrough of the property. This is your chance to confirm the home is in the same condition it was when you made your offer. Make sure there's no new damage. Make sure all the agreed upon repairs have been completed. Think of it as your last set of eyes on the property before it officially becomes yours, because once we close your house, any new damages, things that you see, they're going to be on you. There's not going to be a landlord that you can call for repairs. And if you're out of state and you can't attend in person, no problem. I'll do the walkthrough on your behalf. This does happen a lot, and I'm happy to send you photos, videos, so you can see everything firsthand before we actually close. Next step is signing documents. All right, here's something I love telling my out-of-state buyers, because it actually surprises them. You do not have to be in Arizona to close on your home. You can sign all of your closing documents remotely. We simply let the title company know ahead of time so that we can coordinate for a local notary in your area to basically, they come to you. They'll come to your house and sign you from your kitchen table. At the time of signing, you're also going to wire your down payment and any remaining closing funds that are due. Basically, the lender and the title company will confirm all of this. All of this can actually be done from your kitchen table, which is a pretty incredible thing when you think about it. And next is closing day and receiving keys. So closing closing day is the actual day you officially become a homeowner. This is the moment everything you've been working for comes together. If you're in Arizona, we will meet in person at the house. Now I'm going to give you keys. If not, I'll coordinate for key delivery when you arrive, or I can place a lockbox on the property in case you're arriving late after hours or something. And then something I love doing for all my clients is celebrating the closing day. I like to hire a photographer and videographer to capture the moment you receive the keys to your new home, because this is a big deal. You should have photos and a video to have this memory captured for you. Something to look back on. It's something that I like to do as a personal touch, and it's just a great way to end your whole home buying journey. That's it. That's the whole process. My goal through every single step of this process is to make it as smooth and stress-free as possible. Whether you're buying from across the town or across the country, I take that responsibility seriously, and I want you to feel supported from that very first conversation all the way to the moment you walk through your front door. Now, I want to take a few minutes to discuss for anyone who's relocating to Arizona from another state, because there are a few additional things you're going to want to think through on top of everything we just covered. Employment. This one catches a lot of buyers out of state off guard. You're going to need to get pre-approved for a mortgage, and lenders want to verify that you have employment in the state you're buying in. That means you're going to need to either get a job transfer or get a new job in Arizona before you can get fully approved to buy your house. If you have a new job offer, your lender will typically want an employment letter and may require up to 30 days of pay stubs before you can close on your home. Now, if you're self-employed, lenders generally want to see 1, maybe 2 years of employment history in the new state. So you're probably going to need to rent first. Now, don't worry, I will connect you with one of my lenders who specializes in this situation. They know how to work through these details of the process. That way we don't stall and we can keep moving you forward. And if you currently own a home and you're not sure whether you want to sell it before you buy here or keep it as a rental, talk to the lender first, because depending on what they say and your financial situation, your debt to income ratio, your goals, it's going to help you decide if you're going to sell or not. And if you want to sell, I work with an excellent network of agents that specialize in getting homes market ready and sold for top dollar. I can connect you anywhere. Just let me know. Happy to make the introduction. Also, before we start touring homes, make sure that you're researching the Arizona schools, the neighborhoods, commutes, the lifestyle. I have a full library of videos on this channel dedicated exactly to that, helping you explore other areas. So make sure you check out those videos so you can get a solid picture of different communities across the metro. And of course, reach out to me anytime, as I'm happy to help guide you on the best areas that fit your lifestyle and your needs. And if new construction is something you're considering, don't forget to check out my new construction video. It's linked in the description, because it's going to save you a lot of time and money. There's some great deals on new construction homes right now. I just got some clients on a new build, 3.75 interest rate. Buying a home is a big deal, and you deserve going into it feeling informed, prepared, confident, and empowered. I hope this video gives you exactly that. Don't forget to grab my free guide that goes over this entire home buying process. It's linked in the description below, and it's going to cover everything that we talked about in a format you can easily reference at any point in your process. If you're ready to take the next step, whether you're just starting to think about buying or you're ready to move now, I would love to connect with you and help guide you on your home journey. The easiest way is you can book a call by going to zoomtoarizona.com, or again, you can easily fill out the form in the caption below that says start here, and then I will personally reach out to you directly to coordinate a phone call with you. If you found this video helpful, make sure you subscribe, because I share videos every week helping you move to Arizona, telling you all about the lifestyle, the real estate. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.